I find this the most amazing and hopeful aspect of humanity, to make unpractical things, to spend money, time and energy, and lots of energy actually, by creating theater or going to watch people in theater, or literature or film and so on. Whatever, if it's a silly comedy, if it's a horror movie, whatever it is, everything connects you somehow with something larger and bigger than your little life. You can say that I am here not just to feed myself and reproduce the next generation, but it's more. And I find it wonderful. And I remember very well when we were preparing my first feature film, which was a quite complicated and expensive film for first feature. Late afternoon, I was standing in the sound stage where the walls were already done for the set we were building, and I was just standing there, very young female filmmaker without a diploma from the film school, who barely had money to eat and who wrote the script on a borrowed typewriter. That here are very serious people, workers with families, who come in the morning, have a very hearty breakfast, and then they start to work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, because I imagined something. And perhaps at the end of this whole work together, there will be unknown people who will enjoy that. And until today, I am again and again amazed by that. I feel very much responsible in every sense. So there are many directors who say, okay, I'm not the producer, I don't deal with money, but first of all, I try to work with decent producers, and they are wonderful, with whom we just work now. But if I see any problem, if I see that anybody is not treated fairly and rightly and with respect, I step in, because I think they did not come just to earn their wages. They came in the film because of me and because of my project, because they believe that they will spend the next 2-3 months of their life with meaningful work. And I should do everything to give them really meaningful work, and that they would be treated fairly. I don't know where is the limit in independent film. I think you are mutually very much somehow in the hands of each other, and you just have to cherish that sort of wonderful energy they are putting into a film. Now, I have quite a lot of sympathy for all sorts of animals. For example, also for the cattle, for cows and bulls. And I find them wonderful, wonderful, very complex beings. And it's because of them that I chose the deers as the closest wild living, so freely living counterparts of them. In certain moments of my life, I felt pushed around and hurried and not taken in consideration like a cattle in the course of their very, very limited life, limited in space, limited in free movement, limited in social interactions, because they are social animals, just we don't give them the chance. What they are living through, I think it's extremely, extremely cruel, and although I'm really not somebody who wants to tell anybody what to do, but I think it should stop. Most of them are graceful animals, just the cattle had that bad chance to live with us for several thousands of years. I can't say that there was not damage done. I just lost a considerable time of my life, what could have been spent with really joyful and fulfilling work, and I can't get it back ever. Life is not endless, but I just say to be desperate about it, to really push to forward your project at any price doesn't help. Somehow you can lose yourself and you can become dangerously vulnerable to unwanted influences. So even if it's tough, even if every cell in your body says, I want to work now, I want to make it now, and not in 2 years and not in 6 years, that sort of fixation doesn't help. And while in a way, never lose your sense of humor. It's so important. It came very naturally when I was writing, but afterwards I was a bit afraid if the audience, because of the theme, because what they heard about the film, because it's an auteur film, an European auteur film, oh my God, then they won't be open to the humor of it, that they perhaps will not even perceive it, because it's not a comedy. And I am very relieved that it seems it works, and for me, without it, the whole film wouldn't be true. My characters wouldn't be alive. The whole thing would be extremely pretentious. Somehow I think a big laugh or a good laugh is the easiest way to go deep in a subject. Somehow, if you laugh at something, it means that you understand it really. I'm very happy that these borders are starting to be more blurred. I find it really healthy. Somehow for me it is a natural process to be inside the project from the very start until the very end, being involved, even in the poster of the film in any country. I couldn't imagine it other ways. But even if I just see my own films and different projects, I try to reach out to the audiences with different tools. There are films which need to be told by the writer, director, personally, and the communication should go directly between audience and director, and somehow all the characters, the world built in the film is just an intermediate. And here I really very much wanted to vanish from the front ground, and that's what I asked from all my colleagues as well. And it's not always easy. It needs some calm, and I'm happy that we could create on set this sort of calm focus, which is in this by nature quite hectic profession is something. So the shooting itself will remain in my mind forever, also for this reason. Well, we started the shooting with the scenes of Maria alone in her apartment. And I wrote a letter to every crew member, and also I made a very special little synopsis for those who haven't read the script. So even the carpenters knew how difficult this is for Alexandra, how tough it is to fill with some sort of mysterious energy and tension and force a simple dinner at the kitchen table. And there were nobody, just checking on the phone. Even in the very far corner of the soundstage, somehow people with all their energy tried to help her. It was really a wave of love and caring in her direction. And it was paid back by her performance. So somehow it is really the effort of all of us. And as a director, for example, by choosing a good first AD, who is calm, who is very present in the situation, but very humanly present, you can help this process. Or just a tiny example, after every scene on a set outside the stand stage, you just register some of the surrounding noise for later, and then everybody has to stop, and some guys with the camera in hand, and some guys want to go already to have a coffee or just pack or whatever. And these are generally very tense moments. Oh my God, how long it takes, and it's just 40 minutes, but it seems like 10 minutes, 40 seconds, sorry. And if you just stand there and you close your eyes and just listen to the sounds around you, you will realize that very soon, more or less, everybody will do the same, and the time will be much shorter, and they will understand much better what the hell this poor sound guy is doing there. And you discover all these tiny noises around you. So it will be a tiny, let's say, a meditation session between takes. So there are so many tiny tricks like that which help us to be in this mood. Let's say that life is tough, environment is not always friendly, it can be even cruel, but even though it's hard, it's fun, and it's worthwhile to experience it fully, and it's worthwhile to put yourself in risk for this purpose, to be able to experience it fully, and that is also short. It's heartbreakingly short, but it's heartbreakingly beautiful.
Wonderful.
Thank you.